The hunt for hidden treasure on Oak Island enters a pivotal phase in Season 12, Episode 21 of The Curse of Oak Island, as the Lagina brothers re-evaluate their excavation strategy. Following setbacks at Shaft 6, the team regroups in the war room to chart a new path forward. Rick Lagina remains convinced that the treasure lies within the mysterious solution channel, now believed to be deeper and more expansive than previously thought. With major repairs and equipment upgrades required, the team prepares to shift their efforts to a new target zone, TOT, located at the southern end of the Money Pit. Meanwhile, fresh discoveries in the swamp and Lot 5 offer intriguing clues about pre-Money Pit activity and a possible link to medieval Europe. As discussions turn to the Knights of Malta, the crew prepares to take their quest overseas in search of answers. Elsewhere on the island, Gary Drayton makes an exciting discovery in the swamp, a ramrod believed to have been used in a musket rifle. Nearby, the team finds an old brick reminiscent of those uncovered in a previously identified vault-like structure. Using a scanner, they locate a 14-foot-long structure buried 4 feet deep, potentially matching historical descriptions by the late surveyor Fred Nolan of a submerged wall. These findings add to the growing body of evidence suggesting that the swamp area once hosted significant activity, possibly tied to the island's hidden relics. On Lot 5, archaeologist Fiona Steele uncovers a nail she dates to before 1795 and a wound glass bead that may predate the Money Pit discovery. In the lab, Emma Culligan confirms the bead is made from forest glass, which is characterized by high potassium and low sodium, and likely originated in Northern Europe. She estimates the bead dates from the medieval period to the 1700s, further fueling theories of Templar involvement. The discovery aligns with the broader hypothesis that Oak Island's secrets could trace back to ancient religious orders. In a second war room meeting, the team explores a historical theory linking the Knights Templar to the Knights of Malta. They propose that after the Templars were disbanded, the Knights of Malta may have taken possession of sacred relics and possibly relocated them to Malta. Believing this connection could offer new insight, the Laginas decide to travel to Malta to investigate further. Their mission: determine whether these religious orders left behind clues or even treasure on Oak Island. Season 12, Episode 21, unfolds with the kind of quiet tension that has come to define the Lagina brothers' most pivotal moments. As dawn settles across Oak Island, the atmosphere carries an almost tangible sense of recalibration. The team appears determined to pivot from previous assumptions, abandoning the conventional search grid that had steered so many seasons of drilling, diving, and decoding. A new focus emerges: the unexplored southern end of the Money Pit, an area long overshadowed by decades of attention to the North and Central Zones. Episode opens with sweeping aerial shots capturing the rugged beauty of Nova Scotia's coastline. The Money Pit zone lies partially shrouded in morning fog, as if still reluctant to reveal its deepest truths. Yet something in the team's body language suggests a renewed sense of purpose. Last episode's data shifts, unexpected anomalies, and a string of inconclusive boreholes have collectively forced a reassessment. The southern sector, once considered peripheral, now appears to contain geological signatures that challenge old assumptions. A redrawn map of possibility. The episode's early moments focus on the technical side of the new plan. New assessments from seismic analysis indicate subsurface cavities and structural anomalies that do not align with natural formations. These patterns, particularly a sequence of linear disruptions beneath the southern quadrant, hint at intentional engineering. The southern fringe may hold forgotten shafts, tunnels, or perhaps undocumented offshoots of the legendary flood trap network. The team studies the data while the camera pans over heavily marked maps, dotted with colored flags and concentric zones of interest. Gone is the usual emphasis on the central cluster of historic drilling locations. Instead, the southern perimeter becomes the new frontier. While it has been casually examined in past years, it never before received such concentrated strategic attention. The new strategy is not impulsive, but built upon several episodes of mounting evidence. Recent boreholes to the north yielded hints of human activity, but lacked definitive artifacts or structural finds. In contrast, the southern seismic results display pockets of low-density material, often a sign of voids. The alignment of those voids with historical theories about underground bypass shafts further fuels speculation. Episode 21 positions this shift not as a gamble but as an overdue correction. The heavy machinery moves in soon, the scene shifts to the unmistakable rumble of industrial equipment. Operators maneuver the massive sonic drill rigs toward the recalibrated targets along the southern boundary. The camera emphasizes the logistical challenge involved in uprooting so much infrastructure for a strategic pivot mid-season. Trucks reverse, metal plates are placed over soft ground, and the drill operators prepare their rigs with the same solemn intensity as surgeons. As drilling begins, the sound of machinery blends with the constant wind that sweeps across the island. Observers monitor consoles for pressure changes, depth markers, and core consistency. The team appears cautiously optimistic. Every return cycle of the drill brings up samples that could alter the course of the investigation. Unexpected core samples. The first significant moment of the episode occurs as the team receives a core sample from a depth that aligns precisely with one of the detected anomalies. Within the sediment, an abrupt transition emerges. Loose fill layered above compacted clay. This abrupt difference between disturbed and undisturbed soils points toward historical excavation. It is the kind of marker that, in Oak Island terms, ignites wide speculation. Disturbed soil suggests human activity, possibly from the original depositors or from later treasure seekers whose work never made the historical record. The southern end of the Money Pit suddenly transforms from a background thought to a legitimate zone of interest. Later cores reveal fragments of timber, small, splintered, weathered, and found at depths far too significant to be natural debris. The timbers do not appear to belong to a tree root system. They are straight-grained, saw-cut remnants that look as if they once formed part of a support structure. The discovery triggers a new flurry of analysis. Are these pieces part of an old tunnel? Could this be evidence of one of the legendary feeder shafts engineered to deceive treasure hunters centuries ago? Or does their pattern point toward a previously undocumented dig that the team must factor into their ever-expanding map of the island's underground labyrinth clues from the swamp and Lot 26, while the main strategy unfolds at the Money Pit? The episode also explores supporting storylines from other parts of the island. In the swamp, researchers continue to explore anomalies connected to hints of ship timbers embedded in the peat. Although not the primary focus of episode 21, the swamp investigations remain part of the season's broader puzzle. Meanwhile, on Lot 26, the archaeologists uncover several items that might offer historical context to the southern Money Pit work. Among them is a corroded piece of metal hardware, possibly from the 18th or early 19th century, found near the remains of an old foundation. The item appears utilitarian rather than decorative, raising questions about whether it belonged to early settlers, work crews from previous treasure hunts, or even earlier visitors whose activities were never officially documented. Though the Lot 26 finds are subtle, the editing of the episode cleverly juxtaposes them with the Money Pit breakthroughs. The implication is clear. The island's secrets are interconnected, even when discoveries occur far apart geographically. The southern shift gains momentum as the episode progresses, The drilling results amplify the sense that the team is closing in on something significant. One borehole intersects with what appears to be a narrow void, small in height but long and linear, resembling a tunnel or channel carved intentionally. The drill rods drop slightly during the cycle, suggesting a breach into an air pocket. The excitement is evident in the way the team gathers around the monitors and the core table. Even without spoken dialogue, their body language conveys growing anticipation and urgency. Arms crossed tightly, brows furrow, and glances dart between the sample trays and the depth markers. The episode's pacing intensifies as data analysts compare the measurements with past XRFA scans, LiDAR interpretations, and old treasure maps recovered throughout the series. More and more elements start pointing to the possibility that the true center of activity all those centuries ago may not have been where history claimed it to be. Instead, the real engineering might have begun to the south, using the central money pit as a decoy or part of a larger mechanism. Geological anomalies, multiple viewers, are then shown deeper borehole attempts, some of which pass through unexpected layers of charcoal and small pockets of water trapped between compacted soil. Charcoal, in particular, is always a tantalizing indicator on Oak Island. Historically, it has been associated with underground structures, water control systems, and attempts to stabilize tunnels.